Charges have been accepted by a grand jury. He has denied all the accusations, and his website is encouraging supporters to join the thousands expected to throng the site of the hearing. And that is a check of the head. He is scheduled to make another court appearance. Miguel, bring us up to date. What is going to happen today?
Well, things have picked up here in the last few minutes. Mr. Jackson's parents, Joe and Catherine Jackson, arrived a short time ago, and I think we have a live picture of his attorney, Thomas Mesereau Jr. This is a new attorney who's replaced one LA attorney and one New York attorney, Benjamin Brafman and Mark Garagos, earlier this week. He appears to be waiting at the head of this walkway for Mr. Jackson to arrive, so we expect his arrival soon. One thing officials here are trying to do, though, is not have happened this time what happened last time. They are lessons officials in Santa Maria, California learned the last time Michael Jackson was in court. Fans pushed on makeshift barricades, media outnumbered uniformed officers, and crowds shut down traffic after an impromptu show.
Last time the crowds were pressing in against the fence, and what you saw was deputy sheriffs holding the fence up.
This time round, Santa Maria has fortified the fencing by sinking it into the asphalt. Brand new interlocking barricades surround the court complex, and the streets around it look more like they're prepared for a military onslaught than an arraignment.
There's worldwide media attention here, so every precaution that you would assume you should take, I believe, has been taken.
Jackson will be arraigned on charges handed up by a grand jury. Whatever the charges are, they will supersede an earlier criminal complaint in which Jackson was charged with 7 counts of lewd and lascivious acts on a minor under 14 and 2 counts of serving alcohol to a minor to assist in the acts. By Jackson's side will be new counsel, Los Angeles attorney Thomas Mesereau.
I'm not going to comment.
Mesereau, who recently parted ways with actor Robert Blake, took over Jackson's defense after the pop star broke with his high-profile bi-coastal legal team of Mark Garagos and Benjamin Brafman. Another change, the Nation of Islam will not provide security for the King of Pop. Instead, says a defense source, a security company with a low-key appearance will be on hand. One thing not changing, Jackson supporters will be bussed in to show their love for the King of Pop.
But we have buses leaving from Orange County, we have buses leaving from Nevada, and we have other buses that are leaving throughout Southern California.
Now, back out to a live picture here of the crowd gathering. I can tell you we were here at 3 a.m. Pacific time. There was about 2 people then, and that crowd has now grown to certainly in the hundreds, it looks like, from where I'm standing, and it continues to grow as we wait for Mr. Jackson to arrive. Mr. Jackson has maintained his innocence through this entire affair, and he's expected to do so again today. No matter what the judge reads from the grand jury charges, he's expected to plead not guilty, according to his lawyers. And I give you a sense of how things have changed since January 14th when he was there last time. On his website, his people are saying to the crowd and to his fans to please behave and to pay attention to court decorum. Back to you.
All right, Miguel, thanks very much. Miguel Marquez joining us from Santa Maria, California.
Well, let's look at some business news.
Formally accused in January on 7 charges of lewd acts with a child under 14 and 2 charges of giving a child an intoxicating agent believed to be wine. The court will hear which of those charges has been accepted by a grand jury. Mr. Jackson has denied all the accusations, and his website is encouraging supporters to join the thousands thronging the site of the hearing.
And that is World News Asia. Thanks for joining us. I'm Andrew Stevens.
And I'm Karen Coe. World News is coming up next.
Indictment against Jackson on Wednesday. The small city of Santa Maria is once again playing host to a huge influx of fans, media, as well as some curiosity seekers. CNN's Gary Tuckman's there. He joins us now. Gary?
Hello, Zane. The King of Pop is inside the courthouse behind me. His court hearing begins about 10 minutes from now. You may remember a big event when he showed up here in January for his first appearance in court. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of fans standing outside, and Michael Jackson ended up showing up 20 minutes late. Well, today he did not show up 20 minutes late. He showed up 50 minutes early, so there was no issue with him being prompt, being inside the court. And this is a very important hearing. A grand jury of citizens here in Santa Barbara County, California, has handed up an indictment. And what it basically means is they have found that there is cause for Michael Jackson to go to trial. He had been charged with 7 counts of lewd acts on a child under 14 and 2 counts of giving the child alcohol. Now, we will learn inside the court today if those are the charges that the grand jury has indicted him on. The judge will announce that and will likely learn a trial date. There are fewer people here today, fewer Michael Jackson fans than there were in January, but there are still hundreds, and they come from all over the world. We've seen fans from 5 continents, from North America. We've talked to someone from Argentina and South America. We've talked to an Australian, England, Frenchman, and we've also talked to people from Japan and Asia. Right now, all is calm, but there are much stricter requirements the police have this time. They've set up huge fences, and as we speak, Michael Jackson's brother, Tito Jackson, is arriving inside the courthouse. So many family members are here. 10 minutes before Michael Jackson came, his parents also arrived inside a stretch limousine. So tight security here. They have 6-foot-tall fences that stretch for about half a kilometer around the courthouse grounds. They don't want people wandering into the streets. You may remember last time that after Michael Jackson came out of the courthouse, he jumped on top of his car and took a few dance steps, and that ignited the fans who started running in the streets. Police were afraid some of the fans would be run over. They're not going to allow that to happen this time. They can't stop Michael Jackson from jumping on top of his car, but if it happens, it will happen inside the parking lot of the courthouse that is cordoned off by fences, not here on the public street. Zane, back to you.
Gary Tuckman reporting. Thanks, Gary. You can always get the latest details, as well as not guilty to a new conspiracy count that alleges child abduction, false imprisonment, and extortion. Michael Jackson has said consistently he is innocent of these charges, and he will aggressively seek to clear his name. He also said, "I feel very confident when I am able to defend myself. I will be exonerated by a jury of my peers." He had fired 2 of his prior attorneys, Benjamin Brafman, as well as Mark Geragos, saying he needs full attention for his defense. You heard just moments ago from his lawyer, Thomas Merceau Jr., saying that he will be the one that will defend Michael Jackson. We're going to take a short break and leave these pictures of the scene outside the courthouse in Santa Monica, California, as Michael Jackson prepares to depart.
The singer denies the charges. CNN's Gary Tuckman was in court to hear the indictments, and he joins us now. Hello to you, Gary.
Hello to you, Daljeet. Most of the 300 to 500 fans who surrounded this courthouse behind me in Santa Barbara County, California, are now gone, as is Michael Jackson. 40 minutes ago, he came out of the courthouse, an umbrella over his head, waving at his fans, giving them the peace sign, jumping in his car, and not doing any of the things we saw during the last time he showed up in court in January, where he jumped on top of the car and did a dance. Michael Jackson left the courthouse, though, a man in serious trouble, even more trouble than he thought he was before he came here. Because he was arrested in January, there were 7 charges against him, but the case was given to a grand jury. The grand jury could decide to eliminate some of the charges, to add some of the charges. We knew he was indicted on at least some charges. Today we found out 10 charges he's been indicted on, more than the 7 originally, including a conspiracy, extortion, and child abduction charge. The details of why these charges were added have not been released yet. A discussion will take place in a month, how much of the grand jury transcripts to make public. But Michael Jackson faces many years in prison if he's convicted of these charges. He did make a statement after he left the court.
I would like to thank the fans around the world for your love and your support from every corner of the earth. My family, who's been very supportive, my brother Randy, who's been incredible. I want to thank the community of Santa Maria. I want you to know that I love the community of Santa Maria very much. It's my community. I love the people. I will always love the people. My children were born in this community. My home is in this community. I will always love this community from the bottom of my heart. That's why I moved here. Thank you very much.
This city of Santa Maria is in the northern part of Santa Barbara County. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch is in this county, about a 45-minute drive south of where we stand right now. We can tell you Michael Jackson had to issue a plea in this case today. His plea was not guilty. He did not say it. His attorney, Thomas Mesereau, said it for him during the 40-minute hearing. Michael Jackson fired two of his attorneys earlier this week and added Mesereau. The two attorneys were Ben Braffman, a well-known New York City attorney, and Mark Garagos, a well-known California attorney. Ben Braffman made a statement to us today saying that, quote, "I am not interested in commenting on this case anymore." And Mark Garagos said about Michael Jackson, quote, "I wish him very well."
Moment when he arrived in court. In the indictment, Jackson is charged with 4 counts of lewd acts involving a minor. He's also charged with extortion, false imprisonment, and giving a minor an intoxicating agent. His next hearing has been set for May the 28th. And he joins us live. Hi, Gary.
Daljit, hello to you. He was welcomed by hundreds of fans when he walked inside this courtroom building here in California. He was cheered by those same hundreds of fans when he came out. But in between, Michael Jackson, the king of pop, found out he was in more trouble than he originally thought. The system of justice is very confusing here in the United States, but a grand jury has decided to add charges to the original prosecutor's complaint. Originally, there were 7 counts against Michael Jackson. Now, in addition to the charge of lewd acts against one child and supplying that child with alcohol, he has been charged with a conspiracy of child abduction, false imprisonment, which is basically kidnapping, and extortion. Now, what does that mean? We don't know exactly, because the grand jury testimony is still not being made public. It's sealed. Another hearing will be held in this courthouse in 4 weeks to determine how much of the transcript should be revealed to the public. But suffice it to say, Michael Jackson, the 45-year-old superstar, is in a lot of legal trouble. He came here today, hundreds of people cheering. Last time in January when he came to court, he jumped on top of his car and started dancing. It caused kind of a furor among police, that's for sure, because there were security issues. People were running by his car while the car was going. Today they had fences up. You could see them behind me, these big fences that stretch for about half a kilometer. They're about 6 feet high. People are not allowed to go on either side of them when his car pulled up. This time the car pulled into the driveway instead of the street, and there weren't any security incidents. Michael Jackson did talk after he came out of court.
I would like to thank the fans around the world for your love and your support from every corner of the earth. My family, who's been very supportive, my brother Randy, who's been incredible. I want to thank the community of Santa Maria. I want you to know that I love the community of Santa Maria very much. It's my community. I love the people. I will always love the people. My children were born in this community. My home is in this community. I will always love this community from the bottom of my heart. That's why I moved here. Thank you very much.
Michael Jackson's ranch, the Neverland Ranch, is about 45 minutes south of here. He has a new attorney, Thomas Mesereau. We asked Thomas Mesereau what this day was all about, and Mesereau said, quote, "It's about the complete vindication of a wonderful person, Michael Jackson." Daljit?
Gary, why did Jackson switch lawyers?
It's not really clear at this point. He did come out with a statement. Originally, his lawyers said they quit the case, and they wouldn't say why. Michael Jackson basically says he fired his lawyers, saying he needs someone who could devote...
Monday with the prosecutor, the man who brought the charges of child molestation.
Among Jackson's entourage were several members of his family, including Janet, LaToya, Jermaine, and Jackie, and of course, his parents. Donna Tetreault has more.
Michael Jackson! It was a surprise appearance at the First AME Church in Los Angeles when Michael Jackson showed up for Sunday service. His brother Randy and attorney Tom Mesereau were by his side. Jackson also met with children attending Sunday school. He answered only one question.
Will it be okay if we went to the Neverland Ranch?
It was a beautiful service. He worshiped God like all of us.
There was no mention of his next public appearance in a Santa Maria courtroom to fight child molestation charges. Jackson maintains his innocence. A source tells CNN it's going to be a family reunion in the courtroom, all there to witness the district attorney Tom Sneddon on the stand, the man leading the prosecution of Michael. Jackson's lawyers will argue that DA Sneddon overstepped his role as prosecutor when he personally went to Los Angeles to investigate the case.
The district attorney has put himself in the middle of this case, as much as he's put Mr. Jackson in the middle of this case. And we don't want to overlook his conduct and as he acted in a manner that is legally appropriate, and that's what the defense seeks to challenge now.
At issue, did investigators have the right to search the Beverly Hills office of private investigator Bradley Miller? The private investigator worked for Mark Garrigus, Jackson's previous counsel. It's important because any evidence collected at Miller's office would be considered off limits to prosecutors and could be thrown out if the judge rules it was gathered illegally.
In this instance, much of the material discovered by the prosecution, if it's eliminated, could absolutely cripple the prosecution's case and make the district attorney unable to proceed.
Also, Jackson's defense team claims it still doesn't have access to some 73 search warrants obtained by investigators. And they say that some of the information used to get those warrants was false. Donna Tatro for CNN, Los Angeles.